you're going to be blind in, you know, 3 to 5 years. They're probably never going to have a cure for it. This is as good as you're ever going to get.
Yeah, your sight is something that's so precious to you. Because, you know, and definitely, and people will, I mean, the other thing is that they would do the corneal transplants, you know.
Yeah, and when they explained that to me, which I understand, they said that was like a 50-50 chance. And, you know, and I understand that too. And, but, you know, I would have probably done it because I really don't want to go cry.
Yeah, well, the problem is with the corneal transplants is the last couple of people I've done with corneal transplants, their vision's not any better. They end up back in a scleral. So I always like, let me just give you a scleral now, and you don't have to. Not that the transplant just makes everything harder. I can still fit them, it just makes it harder. And then they've gone through all of this stuff with the transplant. So I don't, you know, by no means do I, you know. So I appreciate you sharing this story just because the more we can get the word, like, because there's other people like you at home thinking, I'm going to go blind from something, and they don't know there's an option out there. That's the thing. That's what I, you know, that's my goal, is to try to reach those people out there in this world that don't know. Like I said, you're sitting there, it's just because the only reason you're in this office is because Dr. Lund brought cupcakes by one day.
Yeah.
And he was walking in the back of my hall when I had up here on my screen, I just timing, you know, I always say coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. So I just happened to have Robert Johnson's things up there, and he was walking by, and I said, hey, let me show you somebody. And it was somebody that had, you know, bilateral corneal transplants, and he's been on our Facebook page, so he's already, you know, given me permission to share his story. Because he'll say the same thing. He's like, I had 36 years. He said, for 36 years, I didn't know I could see any better. He saw bad for 36 years. And he said that he, you know, I was telling Dr. Lund, and he goes, oh, I didn't know you did that. I'll keep that in mind. And the next thing I know, you know, you'd call. So, I mean, like, yeah, that's how, like, I've just always been thinking, like, how can I get, so I had Kayla, she's working on some brochures that I'm going to, you know, give to other doctors who probably have people like that, too, that just don't know.
Well, I mean, I know you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this place right here could be the, you know, the place for care to come as patients.
Yeah. Well, and that's my goal, is to be able to share that. So I appreciate, I mean, you know, you being willing to be on Facebook helps us, because it puts a face to somebody, you know, like I can talk about it, but I don't have keratoconus. And I don't understand, I mean, I can understand the emotional side of it, but it's very emotional. I'm going to tell you, the first time Charity was sitting in your chair when she got sclerals for the first time, and she looks down at my wheel, and she starts crying.
Yeah.
And she says to me, she says, your wheel is fat and wide. And she's like, you know, in the chair, and I said, Charity, that's called depth perception. And she'd never seen, she goes, the pages of my phone are, you know, and it is very, there's not been one patient that I fit it's not been emotional. There's not been one. The guy I was talking about was in the OCT room, and he sat back, and he sat back, and it hit him in there, and the room was dark, and at first I thought something, you know, wasn't sure what, you know, what had happened at first, and then he goes, I've seen like this for 36 years, and then he goes, you're going to have to give me a minute. And I thought, you know, you take all the time you want, because I can't imagine what that was like, to see terrible for 36 years and finally feel like he can see. I mean, he's a different man. He comes in here a different man. He comes in here all the time to buy a solution. And he stands at the desk for 30 minutes, and all he does is tell Donna all the new things he can do. And Donna loves it, because she's like, this is like the coolest job ever, because they keep coming and telling me how much, you know, you've changed their life.
It does change their life.
Yeah. Well, that's why that day when you were messing with me, he messed with me last, whatever, Friday the 13th was, because he's at work, and I went, oh my gosh. I felt so bad. And then I was like, okay, well, just stay right here. We're going to look at you. And he was like, no, I'm just messing with you. I was like,
I thought you knew I was kidding.
I didn't.
But
because you're like me, you have that really dry sense of humor that, like, so your face doesn't change, you know?
It's just, I get so emotional.
Yeah, well, because you're human. Because it's a very human thing. When a doctor who has all the authority looks at you and says, well, you're going to be blind in 3 to 5 years, you know, it's like, I can't imagine someone telling me that. It's like, you know, someone saying, oh, you have inoperable cancer, or you're, you know, whatever. You're like, okay.
Well, and then they're saying, well, you might want to start getting a disability, things like that. And I'm like, I'm not quite, I'm
Yeah,
not quite
yeah.
ready for that right now. And, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's just,
Well, it is, and then like I said, you helping us post that, or if she can, she can post, a quote from you, or, quote you, like she doesn't use last names or anything like that, but, something like that, just a quote on like a brochure or a, something like that.
that'd
That
be
helps.
fine, and I can
Yeah.
also, if I can like you all on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and there's a place for me to, I can write better than I can talk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what, if you could do, like, maybe you can send him the link that would do, like, if you would be willing to do either like a Google review or a Yelp review, maybe that would help, because people go out on Google and Yelp all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do that. Again, she probably could walk you through it. I'm not very good at that, but I think Google. Does he have to have a Gmail account?
Just a Gmail.
That's what I've
account.
got.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
Then
Google.
you
Then
can
do
it with
Google.
Gmail.
That'll be easier.
And, but I can write a heck of a lot better
Yeah.
than I can.
Yeah, that'd be awesome,
See
because
here,
people Google
yeah.
stuff all the time, and then it comes. If you Google, Keratoconus Belmont or Keratoconus Gaston County, then I think that will pop that. It pops it up somehow, because if you write, like, and then you had keratoconus, whatever. Can you maybe email it to them? Do we have your email like in something probably? I don't know.
I
Anyway.
don't know. I can give it to you.
Okay.
It's DJ.
J as in John.
Right.
Okay.
Kimbrough
Uh huh.
1, the number 1
Uh huh.
at gmail.com.
Okay. I'll give this to you then, Kayla. If you could